We are awakening together. This is our weekly gathering we hold online. For more information, visit our website, awakening-together.org. We'd love to see you there.
I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. And before I get started, I just want to give thanks to the one life that we all share that brought us together this morning. My name is Reverend Michele Hojnacki, and this is my first inspirational teaching as an Awakening Together minister. My message today is on holiness. May Christ alone dwell within, and as this creation I once thought was myself. May Christ alone inform each thought and each breath and each choice. May love direct each step. May love transform this journey through time, that in time I might truly know the reality of eternity, the sanctity of peace, the holiness of intimacy, the joy of the Father's love prior to every breath, and indeed even prior to every thought that arises within the mind. Our reading today is Holiness, an excerpt from Journey Beyond Words by Brent Haskell. Judy Lekisch is our reader. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you so much, Michele. And well, what an honor. It already feels like you're weaving a tapestry of holiness. Thank you so much. The title of this reading is called Holiness. Today, I wish to discuss with you and to help clarify for you your holiness. Pause for a moment and imagine that you are God. Imagine that you are the creator of all that is. Imagine that you are the source, the giver of all of life, that nothing happens without you, without your choice, without your wish, without your thought. Just try to imagine that you are God. And in your imagining, ask yourself, what would I need? What could I possibly ask of another being to make me more complete than I am? Ask yourself, could anything or anyone else deprive me of anything? If you were God and you wanted to experience something, what would you do? I believe your answer must be, you would simply think it within your mind, and it would be. Then try to imagine, if you were God, that something or someone could oppose you, could be your opposite. You would realize, I am the source of all that is. There is no opposite. There can be no opposite. Even the thought of an opposite wouldn't really exist, for I would be God. Then try to imagine, if you were God, needing someone else to love you, and remember, as God, you are the source. You are the completion. You are the completeness of all that is. Then imagine, perhaps a bit differently, if you were God, wanting to extend, wanting to give, wanting to send out that which you are, which you would call love. You might imagine it being joyful to take the wholeness of what you are, to take that which truly is yourself, realizing it as love, and extending it to a universe of your own creation. That could be joy. That could be fullness. For that would be the extension and expansion of yourself. If you were God, extending yourself could not make you greater, for you already are all that is. You would not need to extend yourself, which we are calling love, for some purpose, but you could not be incomplete. You would only extend yourself, your love, out of simple joy, the joy of experience, the joy of life. Try for a moment, if you can, to imagine beyond your thinking what it would be like to be God. Try to be in that place where you are complete, where you are whole, where it is impossible to need anything, where it is impossible to find anything outside of yourself. Because you know that you are the source. You are all that is. Then imagine what it might be like to extend yourself, love, into creation of what you might call things, which are thoughts or beings, which exist within you and yet through you, as a part of you, and which can never be separate from that which is you. Try for a moment, if you can, to imagine that you are God. Hear me well this day, for in these words can be found the essence of A Course in Miracles. As you try to imagine that you are God, know that you are. You are one with all that is. God is your source, but you are one with that source. The completeness that is God is you. God cannot need anything outside of himself because there is nothing outside of him. And although you can, in your thinking, imagine yourself having needs, in truth, there is nothing you can need. There is nothing that could complete you more than you are already completed, for you are the Son of God. And that is your holiness. Lesson 39 said, "My holiness is my salvation." When you know the truth of that within your being, when you experience that truth without conflict, without thought, without analysis, without struggle, at any level of your being, you are free. You are the God of your life, of your own life. You are all that is. Nothing in this life can exist outside of yourself. Of all that you experience, there is nothing that is not within you. Being the God of your life, if you desire, if you choose to experience anything, just as with God himself, all you need to do is create it within your mind, and it is. Hear me well. What I am describing to you is exactly the way your life is. There exists no thing in your life which is not your own creation. There is no imagined absence of anything in your life which is not likewise by your own creation. Of your life, you are God. Hear this well. Of your life, you are God. And your goal is to come to the point where it could not occur to your thinking that something could happen, that you could experience anything other than your own willful choice. You are very holy. The power of God is expressing itself through you with every thought and with every feeling. Every relationship you seem to experience with beings, with plants, with things, is a relationship with yourself, which is a relationship with God. For you are indeed God. Of your life, you are God. You are indeed very holy. And your holiness envelops everything you see. The mere fact that you see at all is an expression of your holiness. Were you not very holy, were you not the God of your creation, your life would be a void. Your holiness blesses the world, and you, as the Son of God, are blessed in return. Everything you choose to experience is of God, and you are blessed by whatever you choose. You are blessed by your joy. You are blessed by your pain, because as the God of your life, you would not have chosen your pain unless it brought you great joy. Hear me well. You would not have chosen your pain unless it brought you great joy. And what brings you pain? The thoughts that seem to tell you it is pain. That is all. For as we have said from the very first lessons, it is your thoughts, creations of the past, that deprive you of experiencing this moment and your godliness. It is your thoughts that separate you from that which is. It is your thoughts that separate you from yourself. Truly, without your thoughts, that which you have called your pain and which you have created for your joy would indeed be your joy. We have spoken about vision, about seeing. Remember again that vision, the gift of God, is beyond your eyes, beyond your senses. Vision is experience. Vision is being. God is your source. You are very holy. In your holiness, you are the God of your own life, and you experience that life in your oneness with God. Apart from God, you cannot see. Apart from him, you will but imagine your apartness. Apart from your holiness, you will imagine that you are separate, that beings are different from you. You will imagine that they are not your own creations. You will imagine that your pain is pain. You will imagine that things can happen to you from outside yourself, not by your choice. None of this is seeing. None of this is vision. And without your imaginings, without the thoughts that separate you, you will know your oneness with God, with your source. You will know in your holiness that all of life is your creation. You will experience it free of the past, free of the stories you make up to interpret it, you will realize that your body, even that which you call your personality, yourself, is just one of the stories you have made up. Thank you, Michele.
Thank you so much, Judy. That was beautiful. So the inspiration for Holiness really came a few weeks ago when I was participating in a workshop with Regina called How to Design a Retreat. And the goal of the workshop was to write a 40-minute retreat and present it to another participant. As I was looking for inspiration for the retreat, I was guided back to the wisdom of Bartholomew. And I'm aware many of you may not know of the teachings of Bartholomew, which were received by a woman named Mary Margaret Moore. And her first book came to me in the late 1980s. And for many years, the teachings of Bartholomew were my beloved companions. They went everywhere with me. So I was guided back to those teachings. And when I went to the teachings, there were two sentences that called out to me for deeper reflection. Ideas that you can pray harder, purify yourself more, and become more holy are false. Every moment of your life is holy. I'm going to repeat that. Ideas that you can pray harder, purify yourself more, and become more holy are false. Every moment of your life is holy. But do we know this? Really know this? When I contemplated this thought, ideas that you can pray harder, purify yourself more, and become more holy are false, what I saw was those ideas that seek to deny the very essence of what we are. The false self believes it must work to become that which it already is, that it must keep trying to fix itself, fix its life, and get it right. The false self will keep us seeking without finding and distract us by keeping our attention on achieving something instead of on becoming aware of what is already present. Awakening is a process of emptying or letting go of the obstacles present to the awareness of what is. We are not making ourselves into God, true nature. We are true nature, God, revealing and recognizing itself. A few years ago, a friend of mine was getting married in Costa Rica, and I was invited to the wedding. While there, I stayed in an apartment with the groom's mother, which meant that everyone hung out in our apartment to socialize. Now, my friend's brother was a ship captain, and he sailed rich people's yachts all over the world. As I listened to him describe the life he had, the beautiful places he had seen, and the amazing experiences that he had, I felt this deep self-pity well up within me. I judged my life by comparison as nothing, ordinary, unremarkable. To escape further pain, I went for a walk and began bemoaning the state of my life to God. And my mind went on a rant, and the rant went something like this. What the hell, God? What the hell? How come so many people get to have these amazing, wonderful lives, have gotten to do and experience the most amazing things? What about me? Why did you give me a life so ordinary? And quite to my surprise, God answered me. And that answer came like a bolt of lightning into my heart that dropped me weeping to my knees in profound humility and gratitude. Right there on the pavement, I was made aware of the arrogance in my thinking, for I was filled with the knowledge of the absolute sacredness of my life. unquestionable sacredness, holiness. I was aware of the intrinsic value of my life and aware that the value of my life was not mine to judge or decide. I did not create myself. The life expressing as Michele was a gift given by a perfect love. And its purpose was not mine to determine or define. There was an awareness that I belong to life instead of life belonging to me. And life is the decider of what is to be lived and experienced. This awareness humbled me to the core. So the humbling truth is the irrefutable value of your life has been given to you. What you are is precious and valuable beyond measure because of the essential nature of what you are. Like the message in this morning's reading said, you are God, truth, reality, true nature. There is nothing lacking in you. Lack is impossible. You are enough because you are everything. Therefore, the value of your life cannot be measured by anything you think or do or experience. The value of your life just is. This vision of ourselves may seem too lofty, too grand, too unbelievable, because everything we have learned has had the purpose of leading us away from this truth. We have become trapped in identifying with a self based on a collection of thoughts, emotions, and experiences amassed over a lifetime, believing they tell us who we are. But it's these thoughts, these misperceptions, that we are something separate from life that cause our suffering. It is our misperceptions of lack, not good enough, less than, that cripples us into living small lives. All of us seem to have a version of the I am bad belief. But your holiness existed long before that delusional idea came into existence. It is the core of your being, a truth about you that can never be changed. But it's like the I am bad belief, when firmly believed, it obscures your holiness from your awareness, just like a heavy cloud cover covers and obscures the sunlight. And the change we all long for comes by looking past the clouds, which are our thoughts, and seeing the light of our own holiness. So I invite you to take a breath for a moment and ask, who am I? Who am I? Underneath the noise of the mind, what is here? Right now. That is always here. And can I love just this without thinking I need something more? Can I allow myself to realize this is everything? There was an irony discovered that day in Costa Rica, for the truth revealed that my life is ordinary, perfectly ordinary. In reality, in truth, the sacredness, the holiness of our lives is absolutely ordinary. It is not special. It is just who we are. What's extraordinary is that we don't know this. What is extraordinary is believing we are not enough, that we need to somehow make ourselves into something more, or to add something more or different to our life to be okay. What I came to know that day was the exquisiteness of an ordinary life, and that I would much rather know this ordinariness than sail yachts around the world. So we have this idea that awakening is special. And I suppose in a sense that most people, it is special in the sense that most people don't choose to recognize what is always present within themselves. We as a people have become so outwardly focused, so achievement focused, so driven by our sense of separateness that we miss what is right under our noses. Closer than our own breath, as Jeshua said it. The truth of who we are is closer than our own breath. And all we have to do is ask to know this. Tell me, show me. And sometimes a sincere rant works wonders too. And there are these moments when the veil that obscures the truth drops away, and we realize the true nature, that our true nature is everything. And there is nothing the world has to offer that can equal the everythingness of knowing self. Today's song, As I Am Holy, said, "Who may ascend to the hill of the Lord? The one who has clean hands and a pure heart." And what that means to me is, am I willing to become empty? Am I willing to let go of all the misperceptions and misunderstandings that obscure the truth of everything from my awareness? Am I willing to let the personal self-identity be dissolved so I may see what it has been hiding? Am I willing to unequivocally know holiness? There is a basic teaching, and I feel like Anne really touched upon this beautifully in her announcement this morning, that what you dwell upon becomes real for you. What we place the focus of our attention upon is what will be real for us. Every moment we are presented with a choice. Every single choice we make is setting a course. Every idea we value is determining what life will bring. So how do we see ourselves? Who do we think we are? What do we rest with in our hearts? Holy, holy, holy. I'm going to end my homily with a 5-minute video. It's called The Wisdom of Bartholomew, Part 1. Thank you, Rhoda. If you would like to donate to Awakening Together, you may do so by clicking on the link that Rhoda posted, or by using the QR code in the sanctuary. So now I would like to open it up to anyone who would like to share.
Judy has her hand up, Michelle.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you so much, Michelle. That was just a beautiful, beautiful homily. And you just wove together the holiness. It just felt alive for me. It was deeply moving. I still feel very emotional. Yeah, you're just gorgeous. You're absolutely gorgeous from the inside and out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Melanie, please. Melanie, would you unmute yourself? Thank
I
you.
agree with what Judy said, and I also, Judy, loved how you read that reading, so thank you also. And I loved when you said, it isn't that I have life within me, life has me within it. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correct, but I just love that. Thank you. I loved everything, but particularly that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Marisol, please. Thank you.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for that. I just wanted to share that the truth in your words just penetrated my heart so deeply. I was moved to tears. So thank you for sharing that truth.
Thank you, Marisol. I would tell you it's just been a really beautiful journey, and what I discovered in the course of these last few weeks really is the value of teaching, because what it required of me was to make a really deep dive into the subject matter and to really be with it, and be with it in a brand new way again. That feels like holiness is now running in the background, right? It's like, what's there now? Because I brought it back into the forefront by putting my attention on it. And that feels like such a gift. And Regina's sharing this morning was perfect, because she just basically stated everything that I've been experiencing these past few weeks. I want to thank Judy this morning for doing such a phenomenal job reading. Just as you read it, Judy, it just flowed through my heart so beautifully. And I want to thank Rhoda for being our admin this morning. And if there is, are there any last sharings before we end today's service? Thank you, Virginia, please.
I just want to reiterate what the others have said. This was very beautiful, and the two of you, Judy and Michele, just really brought it to us beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you. Shauna, thank you.
Thank you, Michele. It was so gorgeous. I just felt whatever defenses were in front of the heart that I didn't even see softened and fell away with the expression of holiness that you showed me. Your story of being brought to your knees by acknowledging arrogance and becoming humble moved me deeply, 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 to the point where I am feeling that arrogance, looking at that arrogance, and now wanting to let it go in a deep and genuine way. So that gift alone, besides the beauty of your entire presentation and Judy's reading, has moved me to tears. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna. Billy, would you please share? Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Great. I'm driving back from Florida to Massachusetts. That was exceptional, how you exposed the present moment to us. And, and I had the two, it was great because, you spoke to my inner being. It was so incredible how I'm dealing with the same unravelings that, like those small voices that even Anne was talking about, like, the I'm not good enough and I will never, I'm not gonna, I don't have enough, and those two core fear patterns that that's are in my DNA. And, and they don't go away. They don't go away. They're there, but they've been transcended. you know, but before they were transcended, they created a lot, which I have a homily coming up, which I'm going to speak about on the same things that you were talking about today. But it was spectacular. The Brent Haskell, all of it. It was just exposing, you know, the moment that you are that moment. You know, that you are everything you're looking for. That it's everything that you are. It, you know, and it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Billy. I'm grateful to all of you for joining with me this morning and sharing in our holiness together. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us this morning.
Been watching our online gathering. It happens weekly on Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. To join us live in the sanctuary, visit our website, awakening-together.org. You'll want to click on Online Sanctuary in the main menu, and then in the drop-down menu, look for How to Enter the Sanctuary. Right there at the top of the page is a clickable link. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary and join with you in fellowship. Thank you again for watching. Also, please know that if you'd like to stay connected via the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications. We hope to see you in the sanctuary.